startling revelation, and this is after almost 2 weeks after one vessel that sank and 3 others were left stranded at the Arabian Sea. This was off the Mumbai coast in the wake of the very severe cyclonic storm of Cyclone Tauktae. Now, the master of the barge, which is Constructor, it was involved in the ONGC's operations off the Mumbai coast, and it was also being handled by a consortium of company, an infrastructure company here called Afcons. I wanted him, in fact, and he said this, that there was a clear instruction for him here to keep his vessel in the operational area at sea. Despite the cyclonic storm warnings and despite also being caught in the midst of the storm there, the barge master here has recalled how he refused to follow these instructions that were given by Afcons and therefore managed to save the lives of 137 people on board the barge. The barge master here says in alleged mismanagement is what he's clearly stated here. Also a lack of coordination by various authorities involved in this system. Take a listen in.
If you can tell us about the communication, the conversation between you and Afcons before the Tauktae on 16th May. What were the instructions like you received from Afcons about staying there in the sea?
I told them that there is a cyclone seems to develop in Kerala, far from the Kerala coast. And on 13th, the cyclone is already formed.
Right, sir.
And it was in Kerala, so heavy rain and everything started in Kerala. So I called the Afcon rep. We both sat together and I told him, see, the cyclone is getting formed. And it will come on the place where we were at SU platform. So it is very risky to stay here.
Are you also trying to tell us that the Afcons offshore coordinator or their team asked you to remain there in the operational area, but you insisted that no, that is not the safe place and the barge Constructor needs to be moved to a safer place? Was that the case?
Yes. But inner anchorage to go, you required a pilot to book. The pilot is not booked because when I called the port, VTMS Bombay, nobody was replying me. I was calling, my RO is calling continuously, but there was no reply from the port.
This was somewhere negligence on part of the different authorities, and this could have been avoided, given the chance that your barge could have received the permission to enter the port, so that this could have been avoided. Otherwise, there could have been a larger mishap similar to something like P305.
Yes, because in the field we are putting anchors. We required most of the anchor in line with each other so that they will share the weight. And this cannot be done because we were very late. By the time we put 3 anchors, already cyclone arrived at Redanda.
Times Network's Rakesh, in fact, who got us that exclusive reaction, connected with us and getting us more details here. Rakesh, these are very telling details, and these would go on and added further into the internal probe that has been called in. But given the fact that this is a very strong allegation against the infrastructure company Afcon, it immediately puts Afcon in the dock here for sheer irresponsibility.
Yes, definitely. In fact, the high-level committee set up by the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural they have also met Agnello Ribello, and they have also heard his version. And so far, we've been listening from Afcons that it was the duty of the barge P305 who decided to stay there in the field. But now this testimony becomes crucial because the master of the barge P305 is not alive to defend himself or to explain the truth. But now the person who is survived, the master of the barge, Gal Constructor, is now coming up with this such chilling testimony with the serious allegations that it was Afcons who had instructed them to stay in the field, and it was just that the Agnello insisted that he should be moved out in a safer place and he should be towed, and instead of getting two tugs, only one tug was provided to him. If the similar thing could have been done with barge P305, definitely a major tragedy that we lost more than 75 people could have been avoided.
Right.
So definitely now the inquiry committees and the high-level committees
So
need
Rakesh,
to look
this
into
effectively means that all the four barges, including the fifth, which is the tugboat that was found there as well, all four incidentally, or allegedly rather, since this is still an investigation, all four allegedly instructed to remain there, and effectively having 700 lives jeopardized in the middle of that cyclonic storm.
Well, definitely, that's a claim made by Agnello, and he's also saying that it was not just the duty of Afcons, the only company, but even the Coast Guard, which was supposed to drive them out of the field area way before the cyclone hit the area. In fact, on the 14th or 15th itself, the Coast Guard or the other agencies could have drove them out. In fact, ONGC, the Port Trust, or the shipping, DG Shipping, could have also alerted some red flags, and they could have taken some decision, but it seems that there were lapses on account of various authorities and then causing this man-made disaster. That's what Agnello has to say.
Rakesh Trivedi, many thanks for getting us those details there.